Oh, alrighty, guys. So I sent an email for both you guys just now to make sure you get logins, but we'll kind of go through it. And again, keep this guide so you can go through it too, but I'll kind of show you. It's pretty simple software. Once you get it set up the first time, it's kind of, you don't really have to mess with it after that. Oh, did you get the email for it?
No.
And again, to get to listing to leads, if you're not sure where it is, if you go here to brokerment, it'll load. So if you go to brokerment and you go to your dashboard, you'll see right here the listing to leads login is right here on the front page. So you can go in there and that'll take you right to the login page once you guys have your logins. So once you get in here, it's going to have stuff already on this section here for you to like set up your account. If you've never set up your account, have you gone through and kind of set up your account already? Okay. You've set yours up. Okay. So Jim, you said you got in there?
And I don't find anything for Barrett. This is company.
Okay, there should be, Jacqueline's probably gonna have to send you the login because I think she sets it up under ours. So it's possible you just like logged into it and like created an account. But we will get that to you. Yes. So once you go in here, I'm assuming if you guys have already gone in there, some of this stuff is already probably done. The biggest thing is going to be going through and kind of setting up your profile, setting up your account, getting everything connected properly, so that once it's connected, you don't really have to go through and do, then when you want to start running ads or, posting listings and stuff like that, you can go through and start generating leads and they'll just kind of drop right into your Chime account. You won't have to do anything extra like, importing them over from some other software or anything like that. It'll all automatically just go into your listing to leads account. So we'll make sure we'll go ahead and get that kind of set up for you guys and how to find that info. So close out of some of these other tabs. I just hate having all these extra tabs open. All right. And then I'm going to open up Chime as well, because we will need that when we go to connected. So once you go into your account here, first thing you're going to want to do is go down to your profile. Alrighty, so you're going to click on profile over here on the left-hand side. It's going to pull up your account. Now mine is going to look a little bit different because mine is under Brian, not Jacqueline, so mine looks slightly different. But again, either way, yours guys is going to say Jacqueline over here for broker name. It's going to say Jacqueline Richards. You're going to want to enter your information into this section here. So, your name and license number should probably already be in there, but, you can set a title for yourself, whatever you want to call yourself, realtor, sales agent, whatever you want to call it. Go ahead and put that in there. And then company and broker name should already be in there, but obviously just put Barrett Real Estate. You can put the address, stuff like that. You want to set your time zones and stuff like that as well. Hang on, let me make sure. Let me call Jacqueline real quick because I want to get you guys access to this. One sec, guys. Sorry, I just wanted to mute so you guys don't hear me talking. So cool. Okay. So once you go in there, you're going to go into your profile. Then you're going to want to set up this account and just make sure all your information in there is correct. You're going to put in your broker information, like address, stuff like that. I mean, some people like if you want to put your address in there, you could put your address in there even out, or you could probably just put no address if you don't want one at all. Obviously, make sure your time is correct. And then your primary email is going to be whatever email you use. So that's going to be like, if there's like you have a, Jim O'Connell at gmail.com or Jim O'Connell Realtor at gmail.com, put that in there. That's going to be mainly for any communications from Chime and or not Chime, I'm sorry, from listing to leads and like notifications. So because it'll notify you when you get listing to leads, like leads and stuff like that. So you're going to want to put that primary email address in there. +2, this is the information that will be displayed on the websites and stuff like that are made through listing to leads. So just make sure all the information in there is correct. Put your phone number, that stuff. And then the other thing you're going to want to do that's super important is you're going to want to put your MLS details in there. So this will allow you to pull listings from the MLS into this system. You just have to connect it. So whatever email you're using for your MLS, so like if you sign into like RMLS, whatever email that is, put that email in here because it needs to be connected to the proper email to receive it. And then obviously you're going to put your MLS ID in there. So please feel free, people online, to interject if you're confused or you don't know what's going on. But yes, so you'll put your information and stuff like that in here. These, you don't need to put anything in here. These are for, again, this system's for multiple different, like tons of brokerages and stuff like that use it. Some places have specific stuff that they put in there. So some of it may be, won't pertain to us. So you guys already, Nick and Brian, you guys already have your information all like that in there? Okay, cool. Yeah. Alrighty, and then you can go to preferences, and again, you're just going to want to set this stuff up. And if you have, again, I don't put like legal graphics in here and stuff like that, but you can go ahead and put like fair housing logos and stuff like that in there. It should already have all that stuff on the site when it makes it, so you don't necessarily need to go through and add that stuff unless you need to, but you can add it in there. Again, you're going to put like legal graphic is going to be where you're putting your fair housing stuff. That all that stuff is on Brokerment. If you go to Brokerment, I closed Brokerment. If you go to Brokerment, this is where you're going to get the stuff. You go to library, and then you're going to go to BRE logos, and all of those are in here for you guys to use. So you can just download these by just clicking the little download button. Then you can download those logos. And again, all the Barrett real estate logos are in here. These ones that are blank, it's because that logo is white on a on a transparent background. So just know that it's not blank. You just can't see it. But yeah, so you can download those from there, and then those will be the ones that you can enter in to your actual. So when you're looking at your profile, did you scroll down to the left-hand side and click on profile? Left-hand side, scroll all the way down. There will be a little one that says profile, and then it'll say announcements, tutorials. Click on profile, and then once you're on your profile, you'll see profile details. Now it's thinking about it. Anytime you change any of this stuff, you always need to click this save button. If you don't click save, it's not going to save it. So even though you think it would just kind of like automatically save, it doesn't. You have to click save. Does that make sense for the preferences on that stuff? Because this system can also do multiple things, as in like running your Instagram and stuff like that, or Facebook, stuff like that, to post content. But this section is for like you putting your information in there, and then Okay. Um, domains, if you have like a specific domain, again, that's if you have like a custom domain that you want to add in there. I feel like most of the agents don't have one, so it's going to be kind of irrelevant. But if you do have a custom domain, you can put it in here and it can serve, and it can basically use that domain for your landing pages and stuff. Because what it'll do right now is just kind of create a generic, URL for whatever the landing page that it makes is. So you could put a custom one in there. Again, I don't know how in depth we need to really go on some of this stuff. Some of you guys probably don't even know what some of this stuff is. So like pixels and tracking, there are ways when you're running social media ads and stuff like that, where you can track different attributes of the ad and stuff like that, with stuff that's called like pixels. Again, we don't have to go over that. We can go in that more in depth with other, stuff. But again, I just want you guys to be able to get your account set up, be able to pull in listings and stuff like that, and be able to either run paid ads or, organic leads that way too. So you can do either or. Lead gen signature, again, it should generate a lead or a signature automatically for you. This is like when it sends the stuff out to the clients through, when they go on those landing pages, it's probably going to send them an initial email, like a welcome email. You can go in here and change this if you want to. But again, I'm of the mind of, I just want to make it simple. That's fine. I don't care how it looks, as long as it looks, has the right information on it. I'm not going to go and do all the work to go through and change it. It will work the way it does. And then the other big thing that you will want to go through and change is the appearance of what your landing pages and stuff like that will look like. So under appearance, so now you can go in here and you can add the Barrett Real Estate logo. If you have your own logo, I have my own logo and stuff like that. So I obviously have my own stuff in here, but if you don't and you just want to use the Barrett Real Estate stuff, you can go in there and again, you can download them from Brokerment and you can go and add them in here, so it'll pop up on here. And then also too, you can adjust your theme. It has presets for different themes in here already. Theme has to do with the color. I'm not going to change it because it's going to redo all of mine if I do. But obviously this is just going to change the colors of what this little page looks like. So this is kind of just giving you a little preview of what it's going to look like. Just because these are my colors for my brand, that's why they're this color, but you can pick any colors you want. If you want to make custom colors or, put in your own, you can just click on these little boxes and pick the colors you want. Templates that is already in here. Once it loads it in here, it'll put these colors at the bottom, this little section right here. You can then go in and change ones that you don't like. So if you don't like the color of, puts a red in there or something, you don't like it, or if it correspond to a different section of the page. So just go in there, start messing with them and see what colors you want in there. Make it look, however you want, as long as it doesn't look obnoxious. I wouldn't make it obnoxious looking, but with like neon green or something crazy and like, yellow or something where you can't even see what's going on. And then you can also change the font on, what the text and stuff like that is going to look like on the page. These have to do with your property websites. So there's kind of two different things that it can do. It'll create landing pages for listings and stuff like that, which are going to generally be your property websites. But also you can run ads for all different kinds of stuff. So for example, like in the social media category, because the system will post content and stuff like that to your social media, some of them will be like blogs or like particular like different different things for people to click on to hopefully for them to engage with that content. When it does create links like that, it kind of sends them through like it has that information on there, but it's almost like a portal landing page still for you, where that blog or whatever is contained within that and it has your information on it. I'm going to show you what that looks like, just so you can kind of get an idea. But again, it'll kind of brand it to the way you want it. There's different types. You can do like lead gen. for your property websites. And again, that's when you're like posting listings. You can do lead gen ones, or you can make it look like more luxury. And then again, there's multiple different themes. You know, you can turn on holiday styles for when there's like different holidays and stuff like that going on, to how these landing pages look. And then these are the different like social media, like when you share them, when you share these posts to social media, because it's going to make a post, you can tell it how you want the initial picture and stuff like that to look like. This is just again, this is just a display of what it looks like. This is not, it's going to use the pictures from that listing. So it's going to, this is just the layout of what it would look like and the type of information that would be displayed right on there. All of the information that's on this is going to depend on, and again, we can click on this to view it. You know, this is what the post will look like on Instagram or Facebook or whatever you're having it post to, but it'll have the pictures of whatever, you know, property you're using, and then it'll have also the information for the property you're using. So does that make sense, or is anybody confused? Does that seem like a lot, Jim? Okay, good. It's pretty easy. So that's kind of like the initial setup of just like putting, you know, the information and stuff like that in your account to make sure it's all correct. The next thing we're going to want to do is go to auto posting. So now you can turn this on and off, depends on how you want to do it. You're going to go through. So don't get confused with auto posting and like the social media thing. Just because you have your auto posting connected in here does not mean it's going to activate your social media management. I will show you how to set that up separately. So this is just for the regular stuff, like posting listings and stuff like that, not the social media management part. So you're going to want to go through and connect all of the accounts that you want. And again, you can connect Facebook, you can connect Twitter, you can connect LinkedIn, you can connect Instagram. So you're just going to click on these. Like, for example, I'll go here and I'll connect my Twitter. If I connect Twitter, it's going to ask me to sign in. It's going to have my Twitter, and I can authorize it. And then it's going to say it takes a few moments. And now, once it loads, now it's going to show that my Instagram or my Twitter is connected, and then I can turn it on and off. What? Say that again.
Go back down here to.
Yes, we're still on the profile. Yeah, just right next to it says account, and then it says auto posting. Do you see that? Cool. You got that, Nick? Okay. What are you talking about? It's so fast. It's the fastest internet.
Right there. That's probably the gray box area. Top of that gray box.
Yeah. Here, I can make sure you're in the right place too.
Over to the right. Right. Over to the right. See those four tabs right there. Okay.
So yeah, perfect. So then go to auto posting. There you go. So cool. So yours are already connected, and then if you have like a LinkedIn or an Instagram, you can also connect those as well. So you can go in there and connect, you know, whatever stuff you want to do. I don't normally post to Twitter for my social media stuff, so I don't ever have it connected. But again, just to show you, give you an example, you know, you're going to click on that, log into Facebook. And then with Facebook, you have to have a like a business page. So you won't be able to connect it to a personal Facebook account. You'll have to have a business page for your real estate stuff. So again, all you need to do on Facebook, and we can do a more in-depth, Facebook's like a whole task in itself because there's just so much stuff that it's connected to. All you need to do is go to pages on Facebook, and then you can create a new page, and then you can make a page just for your real estate stuff. So that's the only thing you can actually like generally like do auto posting and stuff like that too, is some sort of business profile page. Does everyone have a business Facebook or no? Yeah, you don't. We need to get all your social medias figured out. But yes, so once you go through and connect this stuff, I don't know why it's not showing. Click here. Oh, it's because I'm connected to multiple accounts, but that's why. Mine's a little funky because I have Barrett real estate stuff in here too. So, but go ahead, connect all your accounts, make sure those are good, and then again, you're going to want to save it. Make sure you always save, or otherwise it won't save.
Twitter turned off.
I don't post to Twitter. I don't like posting to Twitter. That's why. That's the only reason. But it just floods the feed with a bunch of like, I don't know. I didn't use my Twitter for real estate. That's the only reason. To be honest with you, I don't post to Instagram either from here, just because I like controlling those and putting out exactly what I want on those. Facebook, I don't care about. LinkedIn, I don't care about. I let them do whatever they want. It posts all the content, that stuff, so I don't have to worry about it. Again, it's a personal preference, but you know, if you don't want to do any social media stuff, set them all up, and then you'll never have to post on social media or worry about it. Again, you're still going to want some of that more personalized stuff on there, because again, it's just going to look like, you know, generic pictures and quotes and different stuff, you know, which is fine. But again, the purpose is more so to get the engagement. So, and to be honest, Facebook works a lot better for like quotes or things like that. That's kind of a lot what I see a lot of people like resharing or retweet, like not retweeting, but you know, sharing and stuff like that on Facebook anyway. And I get a lot more engagement on Facebook with the social media management section, like where it automatically posts like different information and stuff like that on Facebook than I do on any other platform. So that's the reason why I'm fine with just letting it post whatever. It posts like multiple times a day. Again, this part is just kind of setting up the auto posting for your listings and stuff, but we'll go over the social media aspect too, because we have quite a bit of time here. So, but yeah, so go ahead and connect all your stuff. And then you've got some other options here. So the first one is obviously connect social media accounts. The second one is listings. So now just to kind of explain as an overview of what the software is for. So listing to leads is essentially made to use listings that either you have or that are listed on the MLS to generate leads. So it does that by posting them on social media, so that when people click on these, you can call them ads if you want. They're not necessarily ads, they're just posts. It will automatically link to a landing page. That landing page will then have information about the property if someone wants to click on it and find out more information. And then once it does that, it'll prompt them to sign in. Once they sign in, or it'll prompt them to sign in with Facebook instead of just like a normal ad. We'll just tell them to like fill out a form, put your information in here. I like listing to leads a lot because it prompts them to actually sign in with Facebook, which more often than not, we get more accurate actual phone numbers, emails, and stuff like that because they're signing in with their Facebook. Their Facebook is probably going to have their correct information on it, as opposed to if they just typed in a form like Billy Bob Joe, I don't want you to call me, you know, kind of thing. So I like running most of, to be honest with you, I run all of my ads generally through listing to leads. I don't really run ads separately, not only because listing to leads is so much easier to run ads through, but also if you've ever tried to run an ad on Facebook Ads Manager, it's a task. But that's kind of the gist of like what it does. The nice thing is that it does automate this process. So now, just for example, for Brian, because Brian does have a lot of listings, instead of him having to manually go and post every time he gets a new listing, once a listing is entered into the MLS under yours, because listing to leads is connected to it, it's going to generate a post automatically without you having to do anything and post it on social media for you. So that's the thing too. So when you go under this section for listings, this is essentially the way that you're going to customize the way that your post looks, because it's going to auto post this stuff to your social media without you doing anything if you enter a listing into the system. So whether that's if it automatically comes through the MLS, or if you manually load in or grab listings is what it's called and put them into the system. Does that make sense, or am I just like confusing anybody?
Do we do anything here?
So now you can go into this, and again, you can just leave it how it is. It's up to you. Or you can go in there and adjust what it's going to say or any information you want to put in there. I think generally when you first see it, It might even say some like text codes and stuff like that in there. I don't ever do the text codes or anything like that. I just normally have people click on the link. So you can delete that stuff out of there. And that's kind of like what these things are. If you look at the way this is structured, these little bracketed items are going to be basically, I wouldn't change those unless you just don't want them at all. That's going to pull in the information so that when it creates this post, no matter where it's from, so it's going to pull in the status from the MLS, whether it's just listed or a new listing. It's going to pull in the city automatically. So it'll automatically, just like when in Chime, when we put like little brackets of like, or they called variables, you put in like lead first name, it's going to automatically put the right lead's name in there. It's not just going to say lead's first name. But again, it's going to depend on how you want yours to be set up. Like this listing extension text, you don't have to have that on there unless you want to use text codes. If someone wants to go, if someone goes on your Facebook and then's like, I just don't see it happening. They look at your Facebook and say, oh, there's a text code. Why would they not just click on the link instead of they're going to then go and text that code? So it doesn't make sense. To me, I try to make it as easy as possible and have the least amount of information. If there's redundant information on there, I don't really like to have it on there, so I remove it. So again, you can go through, but you can go through here and you can add like, check out how amazing it is, or something like that, and just kind of personalize it to exactly kind of what you want. Again, when you can go and manually post these things without the system doing auto posting, and then you can put exactly what you want every time. This is just like a generic one, and it's obviously going to be like for all social media accounts. But if you want to do customize like each status, you could select this little customize each status, which is going to be like whether it's coming soon, just listed, if it's an open. Sorry, hang on. It's a little pop-up popped up. Now it's obviously giving me all these different options. I can customize what it will say for each and every different type of post. So if it's just listed, if it's now in the status of there's going to be an open house, I can customize the text that's going to pop up for any of those scenarios. Again, you can go through and do that. And it depends on how you want to do it. I don't necessarily do it that way, but again, I'm not saying I'm the best at using the software. I just kind of use it. I try to do it the easy way, so I don't have to do that much. But again, you can go through and customize it. I know there's people that have gone through and did every single version. They put exactly the words they want in it. I'm sure there's, ways to put more enticing stuff in there. Now that we have the capabilities of having ChatGPT, you can probably just go through and make a bunch of different versions that sound really cool and enticing. So I probably should go through and do that. I just haven't done it. I'm kind of, to be honest with you, I'm kind of lazy. So I just like to post it, go and let it do its thing, kind of thing.
Just where borrow somebody's listing.
This is not the section. This is just getting it set up. I'll show you, because all that stuff of like grabbing the listings from the MLS, doing that stuff is super easy. But the initial part that you have to do to make sure that it works properly is setting up the account. So again, you can go through and customize this stuff if you want to. Again, I don't normally do that, but you can. If you click, obviously you can customize for each platform, so you can then change it for every single platform. So like you can see here, there's a version for Facebook. Now there's a version for Twitter. Now there's a version for LinkedIn. Now there's a version for Instagram. So you can go through and customize it for each one of those if you want to. Yours, obviously, yours when it pops up, if you've never changed it, it probably is a lot longer than what mine says. I took out a lot of information out of mine. So, but again, you can go through and change all those things if you want to, and customize them to things that you want to say in particular. I would recommend going in there and changing it to like your voice, so it doesn't seem like it's just something fully automated, and making it a little bit more custom to you, kind of thing.
You use a list number on yours?
Yeah, like well, you could do that if you wanted, yeah.
It's not on there right now.
No, but if you wanted to do that, you could go ahead and add that in. I don't know if there's like a signifier that you could use, like a bracketed thing that you could use to put in like MLS number, because this is like just a standard post. Again, it's going to pull in the information from the listing, and those little bracketed sections is going to take that information from the listing. So it's not just, it's going to say status, whatever that status is on MLS. So you'd have to find out what the actual like bracketed code is for like, MLS number. But again, I don't think it's necessary, because they're going to click on the link.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be able to see the whole property and everything like that. And again, the only people that would need an MLS number would be an agent, and I don't really care if an agent clicks on it. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Again, preferences. You can change your preferences for the auto posting, how you want it to do it. Post when I add a listing to leads. You can have it post when you change the status of one of your listings. You can have it post when the listing price is reduced. You can have it post updates to your broker account. I have that turned off. To be honest, I don't even know what that does. But this is like when you change the status and stuff like that. And again, I'm going to show you that part. This is just kind of getting it initially set up. And then you can also schedule like how you want it to post. Do you want it to post it right away? Do you want it to post it during a certain time frame when you want it to post that stuff? So even though, let's say at 10 a.m. you enter in a listing, but you have it set to only post at, you only want it to post at like 2 and like 4 o'clock, it's going to wait until 2 o'clock to post that post. You can also put like a post setting, like no more than 10 posts a day, no more than, you can do no more than 1 post a day. You can also put in like how many minutes between posts. So it's not just posting them all at once. You can put, I think you can do like even hours as well. Oh, it does up to an hour in between each post. What I would recommend, I would say, it's because it's very specific to the type of demographic or who you have on that platform of like what would be bombarding them at some point. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing to post very often, but I kind of normally stick to like a 3 times a day kind of thing. I normally kind of stick to 2 to 3 times a day of just like regular content, and then like also like the auto posting, maybe 1 or 2 of those a day. But I mean, that's still a lot of content to be pushing out constantly. So you could always start with less and then ramp it up as you go, or, yeah. So you could always do less for now and then kind of ramp it up if you see more people engaging, or if you see people asking like, oh, do you have any other properties? Like, commenting on the post and stuff like that. And, then like, okay, people want to kind of get more information. I should put more out there. So I'm a big like advocate for kind of testing it out. And, we don't want to be doing stuff blindly. We shouldn't be doing stuff blindly. If we are, I want to make sure that if I'm doing something, it's actually generating a result. If I'm going through and doing one thing and I'm just like, yeah, I'm doing all this stuff, and it's not actually generating a result, or I'm not looking at what's happening, it's kind of irrelevant, because now I have no information on whether or not that's something that I should be doing or shouldn't be doing. Just like and we kind of talked about it and touched on it when we did like the class on Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. You should be looking at your analytics to determine what kind of content, especially when we're trying to, potentially capture leads or get customers from it. You should be looking at your content to analyze what kind of stuff are the people that are following me like, what kind of stuff do they want to see? If I'm getting 100 likes on these types of posts and I'm getting 30 likes on this type of post, obviously I should post more of the stuff that people are liking a bunch of, instead of more of the stuff that people aren't liking. So that's kind of like how I would use to determine what makes sense for you. And again, the type of people that you have on your social media platforms are going to be dependent on you. You might have mainly just family on your social media platform, so you would want to tailor your content more maybe towards your family. Or if you want to expand and get like more, potential just other buyers, maybe you do want to expand into trying some content with like, this is getting into like whole like just social media in general. Expand your content into getting other stuff or other types of like a customer base, and then seeing if that's working and that kind of stuff. So I mean, I would test it out, see if it's working, see if you're getting engagement from it. Again, testing it out means don't test it for like 3 days and be like, I only got 2 likes. I'm talking about testing this for like a month, 2 months, with the way it looks, analyzing the statistics after that, and then being like, okay, let me change it up a little bit. It's going to take time, especially on social media. It's going to take time to gain traction with whatever you're doing, whether it's an ad, whether it's posting regularly on social media, or just figuring out what kind of content people want to see from you. So it's going to take time to do that. You need to go through and do that, do the work, I guess, of actually, don't do it blindly. Long story short, I guess that makes sense. Billing, you're not going to have to really worry about unless you want to do like they do have now where you can do like Google Ads Unlimited and you pay for a monthly thing. But again, you're not going to really have to worry about that because we don't pay for this program. We need to click on that. So you won't really have to worry about that. The stuff for when you're doing paid ads, like on Google, Facebook, or whatnot, you will connect your like Google ad account or your Facebook ad account to it. That's how you'll be charged if you run ads. Does anybody not know what like a Facebook ad account is? It's okay to not know. I'm just saying. Okay. Yeah, so that's just essentially like an account that you have through Facebook. And it obviously, because Facebook and Instagram are owned by the same company, any ads you run on Facebook or Instagram go through that ad account, and that's how they charge you. You have to put your billing information, stuff like that in there to be able to run ads. And then lastly, for this section, the most important part is going to be CRM integration. You're going to want to go through and connect your CRM. Now you can go, there's different ways to do it on here. I have mine, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I have mine connected to API Nation. At the time, to be honest, I've never changed it. At the time, I don't think they had direct integration with Chime, so you had to go through API Nation. You might be able to just go into Chime here now and connect your CRM, no issues. And I think it's going to make you log into Chime, obviously, to do it, but you can go in there and connect it. That will allow, whenever you get leads and stuff like that, for it to just automatically import them into your CRM, so you don't have to do that.
When we set mine up, email there.
You can do it that way too. So I put it in there more than like one way. So you can do it either through a parsing email, to be honest, with this software, because it does do other stuff like a CRM, but I don't use it that way. So even just a parsing email would be fine because I just need the information from the lead. So just so you know what that is, it's essentially an email that's assigned to your CRM, and that email will allow it to, whatever system you put that into, that parsing email into, it's going to then send any of the lead information or stuff like that through that email to that email. That email would be connected to your CRM. To find that on Chime is going to be under, I just did this yesterday and I can never remember how to do it. It's going to be under settings. And then you'll go to lead capture. And then if you scroll down, again, because now it should have direct integration, you shouldn't have to necessarily do it through a parsing email, but again, you can do it either way, because you also have listing to leads here now too. So you should be able to just click on listing to leads and connect it, and do it that way, to go through and connect Chime and listing to leads. But again, you can always still just do it the old school way and put the parsing email in there, and you just copy this. So you can see that this is what the email will be. Yours will look different, obviously. You can take that email that's on there, and then you can just go in here for your other CRMs, and you can just literally paste it in there and then save it. So now it'll make sure it forwards all the leads and stuff like that to that CRM. I haven't noticed a difference between the two. So because normally when it has direct connection, it'll allow you to get like more specific information or see like interactions and stuff like that they're doing. But I don't, and this could be, I don't know fully how their system works. It doesn't seem like there's a need for it. I just need the information to go into Chime. When I import it, it imports all the stuff in there, like what house they were looking at, if they were from Facebook, or if it was from Instagram, like whatever that they captured it from. It puts all of the information there. I don't think it necessarily matters which way you do it. It just depends on what's the easiest for you. I think putting the forwarding email in there is the easiest way to do it, just because it's quick, but you can still integrate it either way. There's just multiple different options. And again, that's because some CRMs aren't fully compatible with this software. So you would have to put in a parsing email. That's the only way to do it. With Chime now, again, originally they didn't really have it. Now they do. I just initially set mine up the normal way because it didn't have the direct integration. Now it does, so you can do it either way. make sure we didn't get the email for you guys. Okay. So yeah, so does that kind of make sense so far? And again, too, if you also, you don't have, again, you don't have to use Chime. If you have any, so like, because I know some of our agents are on like 100% plan and they don't pay for Chime, they use their own CRM that they already have. You can use any CRM. Again, you're just going to use that parsing email if it's not on here. Like I know some people use like just MailChimp, or they use like other stuff. Any of the CRMs that are in here that you can use, or if you just have a parsing email from whatever CRM you use, you can put that in here. It doesn't have to be Chime in particular, but I know some people don't use Chime, so you could do it either way. Cool. Okay, now the exciting part, because this is the most boring part of the whole thing, is just setting up everything. Once it's set up though, you're pretty much good, and then you won't have to really mess with it after that, which is the nice part. So now, once your account is set up, there are guides and stuff on here, and obviously for the people that are here in person, we have the jumpstart guide that you can go through, and you can do that stuff. But again, I'll show you how I kind of use it, and to me, what's the easiest way to go through and use it. And again, it's the main features that they have of the software. So we'll kind of go through these things here and just kind of get you familiar with the software so you know how to use it. If you go to get started, again, this is just going to be like your main kind of setting everything up. It'll have like, add listings, connect to your CRM and stuff like that. If you have the account set up, which for you guys, when we get the passwords for you guys, you'll have that initial setup. That initial account setup will go through the whole process we just went through. You could just go into profile and do it, or you can go through each step and make sure it's done. Either way you want to do it. But the get started is kind of like the initial like dashboard page. You could kind of go through and just do stuff through here if you wanted. I normally go into the actual sections instead of doing it this way. But again, if you were like, I just want to get in there real quick and go, okay, cool, I want to add a listing, you could go in there and add a listing and click on these, or create a landing page. Again, listing to leads does a bunch of stuff. We're not going to get in depth of like all of the stuff that it can do. We're just going to go over how to automatically post listings, how to import listings into the system, and then how to do the social media stuff to have it set up where it's going to auto post not just listings, but like just regular content for you. But you can also create landing pages through listing to leads. There's PDF guides. You can create open house flyers. You can do all kinds of stuff. And because you have your profile set up, it's going to brand it all to you. So you don't have to go through and necessarily go on Canva and make something. I still do that just because I like doing that, and I like making it the way I want it. But you can go in and you don't have to really worry about, you can go in here, make the flyers, and then print them out at the office and then be done. You don't have to do anything. You just pick the flyer layout that looks cool to you. It'll put all your information on there and you'll be good to go. So
where's that?
I'll show you. I'm going to show you. So again, that's on the get started. Here's your main dashboard. This will kind of give you a little overview of like what you have going on and stuff like that. They do have like classes and stuff like that to like show you different stuff that you can register for and whatnot to learn more about the software. This is going to give you an overview of the different stuff you have on, or that you've been posting on your account, and just kind of show you what you have. You'll have nothing on there when you sign in, because you won't have anything. So the main thing on how to get listings, you're going to click on this tab here that says listings. You'll see that on the left-hand side. So I already have some in here. Again, you can do it. They will automatically import if you have, like, once you've typed in your MLS information, anytime you have a new listing that goes in there, it will sync with the MLS. If it didn't import in there, you can always go My MLS Listings and then resave it, and then it'll update that. You can update the data feed for it to import any listings if it didn't work. Yes. If it is showing, like, if it's listed as like under contract or something like that, again, once the account's set up, it should import it when you import a new listing. If you have previous ones that, like, you have a current listing right now that's like under contract, it's not going to import that into there. I don't even think you can grab it off of the MLS if it's under contract. So I think we tried that, didn't we, Brian? Yeah. I'm pretty sure it has to be, again, it's going to depend on, I can't remember if they've removed the ability for us to actually import stuff or put stuff into the MLS as coming soon. Did they remove that altogether in the MLS? Or can we still list stuff as coming soon?
No, we still look.
Okay, so,
30-day window.
okay, cool. So yeah, so then we can still list stuff as coming soon. So the first time you enter it into the system, now that your account's set up, it should automatically import it in there. If it doesn't, you can always go in here and go, add listing. You click on this little green button, you go my MLS listings, make sure it's going to make sure, double check, make sure your stuff is right. And then you can just click update data feed, and then it'll make sure it pulls in anything that is in there if it didn't automatically go in there when it refreshed. So now, again, you probably don't have anything in here, but I'm going to show you how to import a listing. So we can go to the MLS real quick. So like, let's say you're a newer agent or you just don't have any listings. I don't have any listings. Well, I do have a listing right now, but if I will, it hasn't listed on the MLS though. But say I want to still advertise something right now. Because this system is, it has I don't want to say fail safes, but it'll make sure we're in compliance with how we need to advertise our properties and stuff like that, where we need to put like the brokerage who's listing it if we're not the listing agent and stuff like that. It'll make sure we're in compliance with that stuff. So you can just go to the MLS and grab any listing you want. So you're going to need the MLS number to do it. And again, it needs to be an active listing. Oh, come on now. Every time I sign into something, my password's always wrong. Oh God. It's loading. So we'll go into the MLS, update password. Okay. I'm just going to go to the quick search.
And where are you?
I am in the MLS. You should have access to the MLS, correct? Do you have that, Jim?
I don't think I've got access to it.
Okay. Yeah. So the MLS will be through our MLS or vServe. You would have signed up for it. Yeah. And then it should give you, it'll give you a login. But this is just so you know, the MLS is where you'll be able to access all the properties that are available in Arizona. Well, within your MLS. Even though we're fully licensed in Arizona, we don't have access to all the properties for some reason. But so sorry, my template is wrong. So we're going to do residential, and I'm just going to click view map because I'm just going to grab any property that pops up here. Come on now. Show the properties. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. I'm just going to click on one. And we're going to select this one. It's weird using a trackpad. I hate using a trackpad. I always use a mouse. So I'm just like, oh, I'm so slow with clicking on stuff. Oh, I want to do that. So we're going to copy this MLS ID. I'm going to copy that. Now we can go back to listing to leads. And so again, we're still in the listings tab. This is on the left-hand side, listings tab. We're going to go in there. We're going to click add listing. And then there's an option here for grab listing. You're going to click on that. You're going to need the MLS ID. And then I think you also do need the zip code. What's the zip code to this one? 85281. We're going to type that in. 85281. And then you can see right here, it says listing must be status active to be grabbed. So it kind of gives you an idea right there. And then this right here, you're going to mark whether or not it's your listing or if it's not. It might automatically be checked that it's your listing. Just make sure you uncheck that if it's not your listing. And then you can go ahead and just click grab. And it's going to take a minute or two, and it's going to import this into our listing to lead. So we'll wait for it to do that. While it's doing that, is everybody online following, or is everybody completely confused, or what do we got? How are people feeling?
It's good. It's
Okay, cool.
I'm waiting for I don't have anything obviously for listings.
You don't do you have the listing to leads login though, correct?
But yeah, no. I'm following you. I just don't have any listings of my listings.
Perfect. And that's a thing. So that's what we're doing right now. you don't need listings of your own. You can just
Right.
grab the MLS. So
Right. Okay. I'm just waiting for the, yeah, I'm following along. It's good, really good.
good. Let's see if it's done here. I'm just going to refresh. And you can enter in a bunch of them, and then you can just kind of go back, and then it'll send you an email saying, hey, your listing was imported. But it's going to import all the data from it. It's going to import all the features that are listed on the property. It's also going to import all the photos from the property as well. So all of that stuff is then going to be imported in here, and then you'll be able to do a bunch of different stuff to like market that listing. So if it'll go, let me pull up my Facebook too while we're at it, because I can show you some of the landing pages and stuff, what they look like. Facebook. There's my page. Come on. Perfect. So while we're waiting for that thing to import, so as you can see, if we go away, if we look here, like this right here, like an hour ago, I did not post this an hour ago. It just automatically posted this for me. I'm not going through and doing any of this. It just automatically does that stuff. So it'll put like different things. You'll be able to select the topics. So like this one's pretty cool here. You can see right here, 15 new things homeowners can do to save money. Congrats on your new place. Here's a guide, you know, to kind of help you blah, 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 do that. If they go ahead and click on this, it's going to take them to a little site here. And it's going to ask them to put in their information, and then they can download a free guide. They can download it's basically just a PDF guide that'll be branded to you as well. These are like these are just the random social media posts that you can schedule, because you can have it automatically post and stuff like that on your social media. And then it'll allow them to do different things just to kind of give people content. But it will make this whole little landing page with my information and stuff like that. And then it's also got my social media stuff on there. But then they can download this guide. They'll have all my information. Then they can, you know, some people use it, I guess. I don't know. I would never download that, but yeah, that's just me. But some people will go on there and they'll download stuff. And again, you can pick the different topics and stuff you want it to post for, like, you know, the social media stuff. Like, you know, you see this one is National Pet Day. Yesterday was National Pet Day, so I posted about National Pet Day. Another PDF guide. I just added the PDF guides, so now it's posting the PDF guides, which is cool. I want to find one that's a blog though, because that one's always fun. Let's see here. Happy Easter. And so, like, see, so people just go on there and they respond to it. All the time people will respond and they'll be like, hey, I saw that post. That post was funny. And I'm like, what post? Oh yeah. I think this one's a blog. Here we go. Guide to help, complete guide to choosing neutral colors. So you can see it puts like, get my home value, puts my info on here, and then it's just basically importing a whole blog from something else that they can go and kind of, you know, so then your page is kind of like a little source of information and stuff like that. So clients can go on there and just, you know, see interesting stuff and whatnot. So it is a cool little thing to have and a nice little feature as well. So let's see if it's done now, importing that listing. Perfect. So it says here, your listings were uploaded successfully. Please click here to edit and view and verify your listings information. I'm just going to refresh and it should pop up at the top here. Perfect. So here's that listing right here. And any new listings will be right up here at the top. What we're going to want to do is go on here and click market listing. So now you can do all kinds of stuff with this. This is generally how I run my Facebook ads. This is going to give you a bunch of different options on different things you can do with this. Single property website, you can go ahead here and you can customize your single property website for this one. I have it defaulted to like lead gen because I want to generate leads. This is just what they've attributed to. These ones generally seem to, you know, generate more leads, ones that look like this. You know, a luxury one, probably not going to be as high, you know, lead generating, but again, I'm just here to generate leads. So that's kind of what, when we were in those settings and we're picking like what we want these property websites to look like, you can pick either or. You can change it if you want to, depending on that specific property if you wanted to. So right now it says here, like use global appearance settings, which means the ones that you set up in your main profile account, or you could turn it off and you could set it to whatever you want for that particular listing. Again, it'll tell you like whoever took the pictures of this property, like the photos are not super good. So it tells you we need high resolution photos in order to activate luxury websites. So whatever photos these people put are not super high, high resolution. So they'll tell you it, probably won't work that well. But again, these kind of give you the marketing options of like different things you can do, like listing flyers. You can click on here, and now it's got a bunch of different listing flyers. It's going to put your information, stuff like that on here. And you can go through and you can print these, you can download them, and then you can just print them out. Again, they're already done. And I think you can click on them, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's a way to edit them as well. I could be wrong though. Let me click download. Yeah, you can just download them to your computer. Yeah, you just click that download button. Okay, it just downloaded them. I thought there was a way to edit the way they look, but I could be wrong. Doesn't look like it. But again, if you didn't want to have to go through and make a flyer, it's going to go put the information on there, put your information on there. You don't have to do anything. It'll be done for you. And then again, you can download it. And then now I have a little PDF version of it. So now here's the property. I got the PDF version of it. This is the flyer that it made. It put my information and stuff like that on it, and I could just print it out. Of course, for the example, I must have picked like the ugliest flyer that they had, but yeah, it'll have this information. So if you're doing, or if let's say you're doing an open house, you can go and print a flyer for your open house and stuff like that as well. You can do like an open house sign-in form. If you wanted like a print version, you could download it. If you wanted a QR code for your open house, and like they could just scan it to sign in, or you can copy this URL and you can use this as well. I don't use this that much because I use Chime to do it, because Chime does that stuff. But again, whatever way makes the most sense for you, if you do all your open house stuff through using listing to leads, then go ahead and use that. That's totally fine. Again, you can always too, like what I do, for example. Oh, I brought my backpack. Cool. Show you guys. So you can copy your URL. So if I copy this URL and say I emailed it to myself or whatever, I always bring an iPad. So then I can just literally take this out at my open house. I can set it up on the counter, and then I can just pull up that website on there, and then they can just sign in manually on the iPad, and then I can physically watch them do it, as opposed to you can't have them scan a QR code or something like that, but you don't know if they actually fill it out after that. If they scan it with their phone, they go, okay, cool, and they walk off around the house. You don't know if they fill it out. So I always want to make sure I'm watching them fill that out, or have them physically write it down either way. But again, you can do it either way. So I would highly recommend, again, you can use your computer to do it too, obviously, and just have them sign in on your computer. But if you have an iPad, I'm not saying go out and buy an iPad, but I'm just saying, if you have an iPad, it's definitely a nice thing to be able to use for that, because you can do, it makes it a little bit more, not only does it make you look like kind of fancy and technological, and they think, whoa, this person knows what they're doing, but also too, a lot of people would prefer, like, instead of writing down stuff, they know how to use an iPad, they can go and just type in their information and they'll be good to go. So plus it makes it easier for you, because then it just, it goes right into your CRM. You don't need to do anything. So then I don't have to go and take that list of handwritten names and decipher what they say, and then import those ones each manually into my CRM. So I like doing it digitally. That's just my thing. Do whatever works for you. If you have success doing it manually, do it that way, if that's the way you do it. Again, there's like a bunch, again, listing to leads is so many stuff. There's a ton of different like marketing options that are on here. You can do, oh, sorry, it just jumped away from me. You could do nearby homeowner newsletters. So you could print out a bunch of newsletters that you want to send. Yeah, these ones, it looks like you can edit. It has the option to edit. You could send these to the neighbors. You could print them out. You could even print these out or send this flyer to like your title company and say, hey, I have a flyer. Can you mail these to all the people around my open house and send them to this one? You could do it that way. and you could just send them the file. You could do all kinds of stuff. So it makes it pretty easy to just like get the stuff done real quick and be done with it kind of thing. Obviously, the easier that it is, the more likely that it is we're going to do it. So I would highly recommend going in here and, printing this stuff out yourself, and then you don't have to worry about it. Or if you're in a rush, just go into the listing to leads, print out some flyers if you didn't have time to make one or whatever. And then again, you can print them at the office. If you have a Mac now too, for Mac people, we can get you guys on the printer. So
Yeah, we had the dongle come out the other day.
oh, okay, good. Yeah, we can get you guys on the printer now. So we have that fixed. Again, you can do an e-flyer because listing to leads does house the leads. Like if I go into my like lead section, there's going to be a bunch of leads in there. It does hold the leads in there too. You can send them, flyers and stuff through listing to leads. Again, I don't do any of that stuff because Chime does most of that. That's the main thing I use to do most of my like marketing and stuff like that to my leads. And I obviously have a lot more leads in Chime than I do in listing to leads, but you can do all of that stuff through this software if you wanted to. So just know that is things that you can go through and do. These are all different ways for you to market your listing. This one's a cool one. You can actually post stuff to Craigslist. So you can actually literally post stuff directly to Craigslist. If you have a listing, you can post it directly to Craigslist, and it's pretty cool. Virtual tour. Is it gonna do it? I'm gonna click unbranded. Okay, it might not do it for this one, but it's probably because of the pictures. But you can do a virtual tour where it'll literally do like a video of your property and stuff like that. Again, you can do it on Chime. I like Chime a lot, so I would use that for the majority of the stuff, but definitely for posting the social media and stuff like that. Again, I just use this as a way to generate the leads. It dumps the leads into Chime, and then I use Chime for everything else. So I don't really have to go in here and mess with stuff that often. But okay, so let's say you import your lead or your listing, I'm sorry. And now you want to go in here and you want to edit the way it looks. You want to kind of make sure you don't have I like to make sure I don't have a bunch of excess information. Again, you don't have to go and do this. You can just post it automatically, but I like to go in here and make sure that the landing page looks nice. So I go in here and I go to edit, and then you can go, not only can you do all the other stuff in here, like you can change the appearance of the way it looks, you can add open house information. So if you add an open house in here, now I'm just going to show you what it looks like. So I'm going to do it, but obviously I'm not doing an open house. I just grabbed this listing. So you can go through and edit any information. Obviously this box should be checked. If you didn't check the box originally that it was your listing, it should say I'm the showing agent. So it's going to put in the information for that. And then I always go through and just make sure that I put the brokerage of whoever is listing this. So this one's Urban Realty and Development. So I always want to make sure that broker is in there because it's their listing. So we need to make sure, gosh, come on now, trackpad. We need to make sure that it is not presented in a way that people may think it's our listing. So we need to go and make sure you do that here. So all I did was, I'm still in the market listing part, but I just clicked right next to it that says edit. So then right here on the first one where it says listing information, I just go through and add this stuff on here.
Oh, the agent name.
Yeah. And then I just make sure all the information is correct, make sure it's importing everything. You can always, the way that you have it import into your system, you can change what you want to call it for like what the source will be. So this is like the CRM lead source. You could change it to just like, you could put the property address. You could put, if you wanted a specific signifier or something like that for it to say the source, it'll say listing to leads, like buyer lead, listing, you could change that if you wanted to. I don't ever go through and change it, but you could. Like this, I'd probably just like move this so that the actual property number is like right here. I think it was what, 513 is what it was, I think. Yeah, 513. You can use GPS coordinates. I don't ever do that, but can. It'll give the person the GPS coordinates for the property so they could like Google it or MapQuest, not MapQuest it. How old am I? What's going on here? Brian's rubbing off on me. So you could put it in your Apple Maps or something. I don't freaking know. So I just go through and make sure all this information is correct. And then what I do on these features, again, it's going to import every single thing from the listing that the listing agent has inputted in there. I go through and I delete the stuff that's irrelevant. So I go through and take this stuff off there, like heating, electric, I'd probably leave that. But like appliances, built-in microwave, I would probably just delete that. I don't care. I don't want all that information on here.
It doesn't, unless they click through to the.
Yeah, I'm saying once they click on the actual like listing, this is the stuff that's going to show on the landing page. And again, there's a lot of information in there. You can also change this description as well, and you can shorten it or, you know, change it up some. You know, you can kind of customize it to exactly the way you want it to look on your little landing page. Now, sometimes I don't know why it does this. If you noticed when I clicked on deleting that one thing, it popped up like 3 delete things. I don't know why it does that. I just save and then refresh, and then it generally stops doing that. I don't know why. I cannot answer you why it does that. Could be my computer. You know, I don't know. Like number of stories, the house is, you know, if it's a house or whatever, and you can see, I don't ever put the number of stories. You can see if it's a 2-story or 1-story or whatever. So I don't really ever add that information. So I always delete that stuff. But then again, you can go through, you can delete all this stuff. You can, oh my God. You can go through and delete all those things that are in there. The stuff that you don't want, you keep the stuff you want. And then you can adjust this, anything. Sometimes I'll put like schedule a showing today or whatever, you know. And then again, make sure you save it. If you don't save it, it's not going to be in there. You're gonna have to redo it. And then once you save it, you're pretty good. And then I'm gonna go in here and let's just say we're gonna put an open house in the system as well. So I'm gonna kind of get this all set up so that I have it the way I want it. So let's say I'm gonna do an open house on Saturday from probably what, 9 a.m. just to a.m. and then to, God, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. would be wild. To whatever. You click add open house. So now that this is in here, the cool thing when you put the open houses in here, it's going to add a countdown timer on the landing page. So say open house in like, you know, X amount of time. And I'm going to show you what it looks like here in a sec. So now that we've kind of got that, you can go into photos. You can take out the photos you don't want. You can also make like one of the photos like your primary photo. You can swap these photos around. So like I would probably go and take this photo and put it at the top, you know, so that it's the primary photo. And then again, you're just going to want to make sure you go and save. And then if you wanted to upload any additional images, you can upload additional images. You got video and 3D tour. If there is one like that they had on the MLS, you could upload those videos. Like some people have videos like on the MLS of like their properties. You could download them and then upload them into here. And then again, I don't really mess with any of this stuff, but you can change this like lead links and stuff like that. Autoresponders, like when people click on this link or this ad, you know, whether or not if they click on the ad, listing to leads can also send out like automated messages to them as well. I don't ever, you know, it's on. I don't ever look at any of that stuff, to be honest with you. Once it imports into Chime, I just go from Chime and I call them, get in touch with them, do whatever I normally do with my clients once I receive that lead. So again, you can change the appearance of like what your stuff is. Mine is obviously grayed out because it's going to use the global settings that I've already set up in my profile. So you don't really have to go in here and change any of this stuff. Again, you can add like SEO to the post and stuff like that if you wanted to. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff with this. Again, I don't ever use that. I don't think it's 100% necessary. You can go through and still do all that stuff without having to do it and still post the listing and get leads from it anyway. So let's just say you've gone through, you set up your post the way you want it. And if you click this little view button at the top here, you can click on this and you can see what the post is going to look like or what the landing page is going to look like. So you can see it's got the little open house here of when the open house is going to be. And then it's going to have all the information for the property. Again, it's going to have all those details and everything. Like I said, if it imports a bunch of stuff in there, so I normally make it shorter, and then you can see when it's going to prompt them to sign in after like 10 seconds, it's going to prompt them to sign in with Facebook. And then because you have the open house in here, it's going to say, hey, open house is in 2 days, 17 hours, so it's going to kind of get them excited about the property. And again, because they can just sign in with Facebook, it's going to make it super easy for them to, instead of them going in and, again, they can type in their information, but they can just prompt to like sign in with Facebook. I'm going to do it just so you can see. I'm just going to continue as Evo Howard. Again, they can do this on their phone so that they don't have to. And again, if they don't have any of that information in their profile, they can then go and add it and then, and then see details down. So then that'll allow them to have access to this page and still be able to look at properties once they've, now if you notice like all my stuff just went off, it's because I got a lead now from it, because I just submitted like I was a lead. But that,
when we put our landing page in there, does it automatically do that so they can now search for properties if they want it beyond that one?
they can. I normally, what I do, and again, you can do it that way. I'm more hands-on because I immediately, once I get this lead, I'm calling the lead, I'm sending them a text message, I'm getting them on my website. Hey, you liked one of my properties on Facebook, were you planning on coming to the open house or whatever I'm talking to him about? Okay, perfect. Oh, no, I just was clicking on it because I just wanted to see what it looked like. That's like 90% of what people are going to say. I just wanted to see, I was just looking at it. Okay, perfect. Well, let me get you on my website. I'll send you the link. I can start sending you property alerts. Now it's a lead in my system. I can ask them what they're looking for, and I can just set them up on Chime for property alerts. I don't use this system after that. I immediately just put them on my website and let them start using my normal Chime website, just like any other lead would, because in that Chime website, I can track all their stuff. But I think they can go through here. I think the website is probably on here. To be honest, I've never fumbled through all of this and seen what else is on here. I'm pretty sure if they a few more listings. Okay, so this is just showing the other listings that I have listed in listing to leads. But normally, the way I have mine Chime set up is it immediately sends them an email or a text message once they're a new lead in my system, and it sends them the stuff to my website for them to go look for properties. But I wouldn't just rely on the system to just do everything for you. You're still going to have to put some of the actual input into it for you to do stuff. But generally, though, from what I've seen, I don't know how it looks like or how necessarily clients are using it. But generally, right after I get a lead, they then go on my website and start looking for stuff. So either there is something that they're clicking on. I don't know, because I've never looked at it from the client perspective. There is something that they're clicking on to go to my website, because you put your website in there, like your information for whatever website you have. Like you're going to want to put in your profile, your Chime website that you have. And yours will be like, Nick Ruggiero Barrett re.com or whatever it is. You can see that if you guys don't know this already, but I feel like you guys probably do, but if you go to website in Chime, it'll tell you what your URL is. So you can use that. I mean, put that on your business cards, put it on everything. Again, mine is different because I pay for a custom domain, but that's neither here or there. But yeah, now they have full access to go and do whatever, and then they can even tell, like, I'm going to put in my address here, and I go get estimate. It's going to then send me another notification saying, hey, we're going to give you a market analysis or whatever it's going to say, hey, this person wants a CMA or whatever. So, and I just got another email saying, hey, someone, and it tells you, like, it sends you an email through here. It says, hey, Barrett, congratulations, you just received a new seller lead from your free home values page. So again, they can go on here and do stuff. And then again, it just kind of gets them engaged. Again, I don't necessarily care whether or not they stay on this page, whether or not they use it. Why is it doing that every time? Well, whether they stay on this page or whether they use it, I just want their information. The goal and the way I kind of think about it is I just want to make it as enticing as possible for these people to click on the ad. I just want them to click on it, put their information in. Once I have that, I don't care about the rest of the process. I'm going to do whatever process I normally do to then work this lead. but that's like the same for any lead source. If I get realtor.com leads, I don't care what they're doing on realtor.com. Once their information's in my system, cool. I'm going to do my same normal process. The only difference is going to be depending on where it came from. If it came from, they came through listing to leads, I know that that's going to either be through Facebook or Instagram. So I'm going to say, hey, I saw you liked one of my properties on social media. What are you looking for? What are you trying to do? And then I'll do my whole spiel and everything. So
What do you think the landing page for listing for leads? Look at what we have on.
on what?
Do you think that the landing page here, listing for leads, is a duplicate what we have on?
No, it's different. Like, are you saying the way it looks, or what do you mean?
Yeah, or, we
No,
set it up, we'll
yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. The difference is that you're using this software. I mean, again, Chime and listing to leads can do almost the same thing to an extent. Listing to leads is, as opposed to Chime, which is I guess you'd call it like a more general tool. It does a lot of different things and it can do all of those things. I can still post to Instagram, social media and stuff like that on Chime. Through listing to leads, it's created just to generate leads. So to me, it's better at generating leads than doing it through Chime. I just want the information to go into my Chime because that's where I house all my customer data. So listing to leads is specifically created and made just to generate leads. That's all it's made to do. There are other features and it may be a duplicate, like as in like I have a landing page for that property, as in like if someone went to my property and typed in the same property, there's a page for it that would generate a lead, obviously, if someone had gone to that page. Because I could just go on my website, type in that address, and pull up the URL for that page that's on my website, the landing page, if you want to call it, and then post that on social media. And then if someone clicked on it and they went to my website is still going to prompt them to sign in as well. Then they would be, it would generate a lead that way as well. You can do it. It's just this system's so much easier to do it. You don't have to do it like the long way, I guess you would say. Did that answer your question or not at all?
So, why wouldn't we set up a landing page here just to make sure that somebody comes here to this one?
You mean on Chime?
No, I'm listening to these landing page.
Yes, that's something separate. So this is just for listings. So this is when you're posting a listing and you want to, it's just going to automatically post this to social media for you. And then they go on there, but you can also create separate landing pages for different stuff as well. Now, if you go into landing pages, you can make landing pages for all kinds of stuff. You can make free home evaluation landing pages, you can make down payment assistance landing pages, and you can also post them to social media. So you can do other things, but it's not that these landing pages are not the same as like the listing landing pages. They're not the same as that. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah, a little bit. I was like, I don't know what you're saying exactly. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you can do that. You can totally do that too to post those and provide like more traffic to your stuff. Some of the listing ones work, to be honest. I think the listing ones work the best because most people want to click on the photos and see photos of the houses. So I like the listing ones. That's why I don't really do some of the other ones, because most people are probably not going to click on a landing page for like free home evaluation or PDFs that often. You're going to get a higher, click rate if you're going through like a listing or something people might actually be interested in, but you can do both as well.
but I'm going to a couple of restaurants.
Yeah.
Here, and then they also have one for the down payment.
Mhm.
Some people don't.
Definitely. I know, Brian, don't you do a bunch of landing pages too? I mean, landing pages definitely work. So, I mean, you could do them for all kinds of stuff.
Playing around with it right now. Like the first one I did, I got 3 to 5 click-throughs a day. Then
Yeah.
The second batch, I didn't get one. I was wondering if there was something wrong with the connection between.
I think it just, again, obviously like leads and stuff like that, or regardless are going to be kind of like cyclical and they're going to depend on like the market, but, and it also depends on like, so that's what I do. I normally, and again, to run an ad, it's super simple. You're still just going to go into this market listing and you're going to Facebook and Instagram ads. You'll have to just make sure your ad account is connected. But once you do that, all you do is set a budget and then set a duration of how long you want to run the ad for. And then you just click create ad and then it's done. But again, you can do it however you want, as in like the time, the length and stuff like that. And then I'll normally experiment with different like pages or like what the ad looks like of like the initial main page. Generally, sometimes like if you just post like there's an option with just a picture, no extra text or anything like that on it. Sometimes those get more clicks than stuff with like saying, because then it looks less like an advertisement, more just like a picture of a house. So I kind of mess around with those when I do different ads and like just kind of change up either the wording or change up the picture on the main cover so that try to get more clicks and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll even just run ads on random houses. Like I'll just find a $2 million house and I'll be like, house of the week, you have to look at this crazy house. And I'll just import it just like I did, import that listing and then just run an ad for like 25, 35 bucks or whatever. I think the minimum is 35 or whatever, but I'll just run an ad for 35 bucks for, a couple days. And just because, it looks super fancy, everybody's going to be like, I want to see what a $5 million house gets me. They're going to click on it. They're going to put their information in. I don't care what they clicked on it for or why they clicked on it. I just want to generate the lead. So I'll even run ones like that, Yeah. We're running over time a little bit, but we can go again more in depth on like all the different stuff. Probably on the next one we'll cover like the social media stuff. But again, it's like honestly that class would take like 20 seconds to set up because you don't have to do anything to do it. The most tedious part is just setting up your profile and getting all that set up. Once you're done, then you can just start turning on any of the stuff that you want to use. So, but yes, take this Jumpstart guide with you. Read through it again. I'm going to post this video to the YouTube. God, I can't even think right now. I'm going to post this one to the YouTube so you guys can kind of go back and watch it again. And then also too, I'm pretty sure Listing to Leads as well has videos and stuff like that and trainings. So you can review those as well. And then obviously if you have questions and stuff like that, just call me or text me or whatever. So for you guys, I'll make sure we get those logins for you guys today so that you have them. And then when you're going through and setting them up and stuff like that, if you have questions, just call me or whatever. So cool. Any other questions from anybody else or no? Cool. Mercedes, you good? I don't know who else is on here.
Yeah, really good. Thank you. It was, I kind of needed this and can't wait for the next part. So thank you.
Yeah. If you have any questions, feel free to, shoot me a text. You got my number. So.
Yep. Thank you so much. Have a good day, guys. Take
Alrighty,
care.
see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And how?
Yeah, that way. I've got to.